Alright, get this thing going. Alright, so. Oh, I'm live. Alright, cool. Really? I didn't even hit the. Oh, I guess I'm live. Let me see. I don't know. Yeah, no one's here. Well, I can't tell if anyone's here, but. Let me say. Your launch page. It says I'm live, though. When this is going on? Oh, no, wait. Wait. Still live, right? Wait. Am I live? Oh, man. Come on. Yeah, it is. But why why is this stuff, huh? Wait, not that. Right, well, whatever. I think I'm live. I think people maybe used to 11 o'clock start time. Let me see. Oh, okay, alright, good. I am Ainsley. How you doing? I think we're going to have some good calls tonight. Just based on a couple of people I spoke to. Someone I spoke to last night. Kind of like a long shot. I asked somebody to join us tonight. Who was kind of commenting. And, just seemed like he had a lot to say, and maybe it'd be good to have him on. And he seems to be well read biblically, and just kind of waiting for it to fill up. It's just, I don't really like the screen I have here. Yeah, so people are starting to come now. Alright, so basically, let me see. Yep, alright, so, let's kick it off.
You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Alright, I must have had an echo before, I'm assuming. Should be better now. Let's see. Let me show you everything out. So I was looking through like some news, just kind of, just anytime before I go live, like spend a little time doing research. There's nothing, no big news. Usually it's the end of the week you get the big news, unless it's like a shocking event. But as far as like the more controlled news, you can say. Oh, all right. Good. I literally just watched. That's weird. Okay. Anyways. Okay. So. I had time finding this Colin show. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. Hello. All right. So most people are used to me starting at 11 and leaving even 11:15. So but you know what? There's actually a good amount of people in here. Most people are just lurking. So hello everybody. Good evening. Hope everyone had a good day. I'm tired, to be honest with you. I ended up not sleeping last night. So a little bit tired, and I'm not gonna drink any energy drinks or anything like that because I just want to go straight to bed afterwards. But based on some conversations I had today, one over email, one over the phone. Someone I'm hoping from that was writing a lot of comments. I'm hoping that person calls in. He's a veteran. Seems to be well read biblically. I hope that to hear from you. Um, even if people are coming at me a certain way, I can tell. As long as I don't mind people like disagree or kind of like think I should have handled something different. That's fine. I don't care because then that's an opinion. I don't care about opinions. It's outright like blind attacks, and you didn't even watch a video, and you just being blind and just you know trollish. And this wasn't that. This was well, he had a message, and I just invited him to call in. So I think that let me see how many we got right now. So yeah, so it's not bad. So wow, I'm surprised we even have that many. I mean, chat's not really going, but there's more than you know in here. All right, I'm gonna put the phone number out there. Like I said, I looked around the news. There's no glaring news. I'm kind of scared of that app. You know. Um, I mean, the most interesting news I found was that they figured out why the Mona Lisa was not finished. You could tell by her hand. They call it like the claw hand, I guess, that it wasn't finished. And the reason for that is that what they're saying now is that the the portrait of Leonardo da Vinci that was made by one of his apprentices, who he supposedly probably had some kind of love affairs with. I guess he was gay, and I think actually he did. Not just like saying that. I think he actually did. But he was also a great artist. So that's probably where the attraction was intellectually. And anyways, so they ended up finding like when they look at that portrait. I mean, I don't know why it took them so long to figure it out. That's what I don't get. So in that portrait, he's obviously like in a sling. I guess he had a real bad fall. This is when he was old, and the Mona Lisa was one of his last works, making it even more valuable. Um, Despite being such a like one of those cool paintings where it kind of follows you and just kind of that look. Um, but I guess it's just simply even though he was ambidextrous, so if he was drawing or he was writing, it was with his left hand. But if he was painting, it was with his right hand. and he must have had some OCD because it had to be like that, despite being ambidextrous. So if he draws, it's lefty. If he writes, it's lefty. But if he paints, it's righty. And when he, had a bad fall when he was older, he hadn't finished the Mona Lisa yet, and that was it. He never got to finish it. You would think, it seems basically complete to me. To my untrained eye, but to him, if he can't do it right, he wasn't gonna do it, I guess. So that's the reason the Mona Lisa was not finished. That's some new news. I don't know why that's something that's just being figured out now. Seems pretty self-explanatory. When you see the portrait of him, he's in an obvious, back in the day, back then, like a sling. The best they could do for it, I guess. And yeah, so that's why the Mona Lisa wasn't finished. Also, they found another thing related to him that I ended up reading on. I don't know how new the news is, but it's definitely of this year that it came out. Queen Mary has, Queen Elizabeth has an amazing collection of art. And in that collection of art, she has some Da Vinci pieces, and one of them has to do with like the woman's cardiovascular system. I don't know why it would be different than a man's. Maybe there's some obvious reason why, as well as some other things, about like a woman's anatomy, and she has that in her collection. And on that painting, they actually, when they did some analysis on it, they find his thumbprint, which is interesting. So you kind of have Leonardo da Vinci's thumbprint. The value of that painting just went way up. That's better than a signature, 100 times better than a signature. You have his actual thumbprint, something as unique as that. A lot of paintings have his signature. A lot of he did a lot more than just paintings, of course. So a lot of things have his signature, but to have his thumbprint, Queen Elizabeth lucked out on that one. So yeah, I'm a little bit like toned down today. I just didn't, like I said last night, we were up so late last night. Great show last night. 2 shows, both of them great. Interesting document. I haven't seen anyone debunk it. I did see some questions. I'm trying to remember who in particular. I think it was actually Kizzy. She said, like, how do we know how they get paid and how often they get paid? Well, we know how often. It's like we laid out. It's, they can get paid 4 times a month. And it's monthly that they get paid. But, you can get paid for 4 videos per month, and then it's monthly that you'll get paid. Now, the manner in which they get paid, that I'm sure is already worked out ahead of time, as well as communications, all kinds of other stuff. But this was just a standard document, it seems like. And as far as email, I don't think that would be the way they would be communicating. They're talking about avoiding algorithms. Oh yeah, and then someone said maybe they're trying to get bots, but actually no, it says right in there, we will, once you hit 12,000, you don't have to pay fees anymore. We'll just count whatever you're above 12,000, and you have to get feed based on how many you have above 12,000. However, bots, or as they call it, artificial, I think, or something like that. Artificial accounts will not count. So they account for bots, they account for all that type of stuff. So basically, all the questions I saw answered The only one I would say is like, so yeah, I think that answers all of them. That's all the questions I got. Yeah, last night was a great show. I would check it out. There's two shows. The first one, it's more in depth, basically just about the document, and then after that, we had a call-in show. We went over maybe that, and most of the questions were on the second video. So I did say in the second video, if you want a more in depth, watch the video before this. So I would suggest watching the first video first, if you want to get a more like in depth analysis, because a lot of people watch the second video with the ones with more of those questions, whereas if they watch the first ones, like they were kind of answered there. But with that, I'm gonna open it up because other than the Mona Lisa news, there really wasn't much, except one more thing. One more thing. So the in with stock, for anyone who knows with stocks, right now the futures on the stocks are not looking too good, and that's because Trump is going to, it seems like right now, at least, as it stands right now, the $200 billion tariffs on Chinese goods, he's going through with it. He's not, I mean, when it comes to the Chinese, you have to be like that. If they think you're bluffing, you need to be tough with these people. And not to sum up people like that, but let's be honest. I mean, the Chinese people are obviously hardworking, and if they sense weakness, they're gonna exploit it. And he's not gonna show any weakness or any give. And it's gonna hurt them more than it hurts us. Yes, it's going to affect the stocks, and it already is affecting the stock futures as of right now. And but that stock futures, which do kind of reflect the stock as well, especially initially. But that can change real quick. While everyone's selling, it might be a good time to buy. Once everyone sells, it might be a good time to buy, because a situation like that can be worked out once they realize he's serious about these stocks. I mean, not these stocks. That he's serious about the $200 billion in tariff, $200 billion in tariffs that he's going to, that they're maybe that's what it takes for them to give. I mean, you just have to trust in our intelligence agencies as well. The news kind of sensationalizes everything and makes it all about Trump, as if he's alone, coming to all these decisions. No, we have some smartest people in the world working these things out. So, so you have to have faith that there's a lot of people, supporting the president, whether they like him or not, because that's what you do. I mean, there is no way our country would be as successful as it is if every 8 years or 4 years a whole new administration came in and just kind of like, changed everything. Although the last two presidencies have been a little bit unique in that way, where Obama, he came in after Bush really like did a horrible job as a president, and Obama seemed to inherit a mess and was doing the best he could. That's how I felt at the time. But then in his second term, I started realizing, once we were kind of out of that, and you kind of realize the banks made out, and then you start to see all the other crap he started pushing. Then you started to see what was really going on, and that's when I really started to wake up. I mean, I've been awake since I was in the Navy. Just, I mean, as far as things are not what they seen. You know what I mean? Not everything you learn in school is fact. Whether it's history, whether it's any of it, it's got, it's dripping with propaganda. You know, um, just how it is. And I learned that young. But as far as like the banking industry and things like that, I learned that later. You know, I would say like the second term of Obama was when I really woke up in that type of stuff. But yeah, thumbs up the video, and you know what? I'm gonna open up the phone calls. So um, there's a couple people I was looking to see if they were here. They're not. But they actually, you know what? Any news on Venezuela? None that I saw. So you know what? Let me just do a quick little, not on that other app, but this one, this other one I got. Because if there was, I'd see it. So, all right, we already got a call, so we're gonna go into it. There is actually a little bit of news, but it's more so like oh, I didn't get to the call in time. We got Texas. Call right back. I'll get you. But there's some rumors that maybe U.S., Russia, and Cuba are going to break the impasse on Venezuela, which would mean they're not averse to opening conversations with countries that are allied to Maduro. So, maybe the whole policy with Venezuela would be hashed out between the U.S., kind of Cuba, and Russia. They're gonna kind of determine their fate, possibly, or at least that's being put out there. Red Pill News Dispensary. How you doing?
Red Pill.
I'm doing well. So, did you have a specific topic you wanted to talk about? I can maybe pull it up on the screen for the viewers.
Nah, man, I'm just calling to say hi. How you?
You just calling to say what?
I'm just calling to say hi.
Oh, hi. You being sarcastic?
Oh, no, bro. Thanks. Good job. Keep it up. You know?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, man. Yeah, no problem. Take it easy.
So you just calling that just say hi? I appreciate that. Thank you. That was nice of him. Thank you. It's nice to hear here and there. So phone lines open. I'll read you this here in the meantime. And I'm not saying don't call. But I know the voice was low, but he was just calling to say hello and keep up the good job. So that was nice of him. I appreciated that. So Venezuela's critical situation is at a standstill. While pressure is mounting for its president, Nicolas Maduro, to step down, opposition leader Juan Guaido's recent push to oust Maduro failed to trigger the military defections needed to take control of institutions such as the country's security forces. Since Guaido invoked the Constitution in January to assume the interim presidency, the U.S. has thrown its full weight behind him, while Russia and Cuba have increased their support for Maduro, creating a clash among the powers. But the thing is, I do not see a U.S.-backed coup failing because of Russia. No, I don't see it. If it was China, maybe. Russia, no. I don't see it. Military might-wise, I don't see it. abilities, all that. No, I just don't see it. I mean, you can't. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of ways to do things. But who knows? Maybe it really is as it's reported. After Guaido's failed uprising, Trump lashed out at Cuba on Twitter, threatening its officials with the highest level sanctions. So he's pissed at Cuba for some reason. If they do not immediately cease military and other operations in Venezuela. I mean, really, Cuba? But one day later, Trump seemed to soften his stance and use a carrot and stick approach toward Cuba, saying during an interview with Fox. Now, this is NBC, just so you guys know. With the right moves, Cuba could do very well. We could open it up, but we're going to end up closing it up if they don't get out of Venezuela. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo surprised many when he said in an interview Sunday on the CBS program, Face the Nation, that the administration is working with the Cuban government on Venezuela. We're working with the Cubans to try to get an outcome that will let the Venezuelans have this opportunity, Pompeo said. According to a State Department spokesman, the department's officials met in Washington April 29th with Carlos Fernandez de Cosio, Cuban's Director General of U.S. Affairs, but the meeting was described as a courtesy call at the working level. They're not averse to opening conversations with countries that are allied to Maduro. Michael, so that's a good sign. And the U.S. wants to get supporters of Maduro to back off. So it looks like they are doing their best to try to avoid military conflict. So maybe the failed coup was simply that, really a failed coup. I took it as, an attempt to, well, you know what? Maybe this is just more of the same. I took it as kind of like what this is. This is like showing that they are making diplomatic efforts, whereas the coup could have been, a showing that we were trying to find a peaceful solution, and now not just that, but now we're doing this, but they already have a good idea of how it's gonna end. Or maybe it really is one of those things like North Korea where, you hope it goes well, but, it's kind of in their hands how it's going to end up going. But it's obvious that they're doing their best, or at least putting out the look that they are doing their best to avoid a actual conflict. So, phone lines open, guys. I know it's a little bit earlier than usual, and usually I do like a half hour of news and all that. There's not much. I mean, I'm not gonna, make news where there's not. We are on our way to Iran too. Well, I think that's more like the bigger picture. I hope not. I mean, but he's very supportive of Israel, so that would make more sense. You know what? Since I have the stupid app anyways, I haven't deleted it, because I'm telling you, you delete it, it's like, trust me, it doesn't matter. Once they're in, they're in. So if I got Mossad on my phone, I got Mossad on my phone. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm going to open this app, Red Alert, and I'm going to tell you guys what's the deal. So, just, it seems like more of this. Alright, so, nothing about rocket attacks today, but, I mean, the rocket attacks were just non-stop. And May 8th is the day that they're honoring all the fallen Israeli soldiers. I didn't think there was that many. and there's someone in here. Please donate israelrescue.org/campaigns/self-help and all this stuff. And he spelled Israel wrong. What a fucking idiot. At least he knows where the money's at, but you gotta know how to spell the country, buddy. He spelled it E-A-L. That's hilarious. And of course, everyone caught that. I mean, these are all Jewish Americans, basically, that want to, kind of keep up with what's going on. Not just Jewish Americans. I see we got some, I believe. No, yeah, that's, I see an Iran flag. Ooh, so this could get interesting. An Egyptian flag. So, I mean, obviously anyone could get the app and put anything. And of course, you have a lot of like the Yeshua follower stands with Israel. Next time, which will be soon, finish the job, Israel. A lot of pro-Israel. Yeah, look at this. Please donate to help the people of Israel. With Israel spelt wrong. I don't know if you guys can see that. What an idiot. He made a website, israelrescue.com, and everything, with it spelled wrong. So he had to pay for that domain, all that. And he was probably like, wow, I'm surprised I got it. Didn't spell it right. And this is just a little hint about kind of who runs the world. There's a lot of love from Russia in here to the Israelis. And one says Muslims are dirty monkeys. That's what he says. The guy from Russia. Hamas run out of rockets. Haha. They know Israel will crush them and God will see it to it. It's really interesting just to read. I mean, there's never going to be peace between Israel and Palestine. Neither side want it. It's just been going on for too long. It's just generations upon generations of just, killing each other. Although, I mean, really, when you look at it, the deaths, you don't see any, like, astronomical death tolls. I mean, like, they act like it's such a hot spot, when in reality, there's hot spots, like, look at Yemen. Look at what's going on in North Korea, the suffering that just happens daily in North Korea. I mean, they have these camps, if a soldier defects, his whole family, I'm talking cousins, everybody gets put in these camps. I mean, it's unbelievable, the lengths. Did I miss a call? I don't think so. What's going on? I don't understand. No one's calling in tonight. Is this just gonna be a in the chat? I'll check out chat. Cause I'm telling you, I don't got much news for you. I'm exhausted after last night. So I mean, this is a first. Something's gonna happen in the next 2 days, I bet. As far as Iran, or are you talking about Venezuela? I think things are gonna happen here. I know, right? It's pathetic. I'll give it a few more minutes, guys, but if no one's gonna call in, I don't got much for you tonight at all. No, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not gonna like fake news if there isn't. I'm sure it's like some like sensational stories I could tell that clickbait crap. But as far as like real, like intel, not much chatter at all. Even Red Alert is dead. All right, we got someone. Minnesota. All right. Hello, this is the Red Pill dispensary.
Good, man. How's it going?
Hi, how are you?
Good to talk to you. This is Trip.
Oh, hi Trip. How are you?
Not bad. Yeah, that definitely seems like something's going to kick off soon. Gets like quiet. Everybody's thinking the same thing.
Exactly. I feel the same way. I do. I've been feeling like that all month. This whole May. Like, after May Day, after May 1st, I've been having that feeling. I said it then, too. I said, I think May is going to be an interesting month, but I think it's going to be like mid-May. You know?
Right.
Maybe not even that late. Maybe not even that late. I think, you know how Friday is usually like when they do the media dumps,
Right. They try to get it out while everybody's out partying.
Yeah, although people are like onto that now, like everybody knows, like Friday is news day.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really get that because to me it's like the other way around. It's like to me it's like during the week I'm busy. You know what I mean? Like there's more of a chance that I'm not gonna catch the news story. You're going to work, you're doing your thing. But then on the weekend, you actually have some time. That's when you might actually, catch some news or, I don't know.
Right.
So if something really big drops on a Friday, it seems, but, usually the stories they're dropped and it does seem to be a way to, like, kind of quiet things down. I don't know, but I don't know. I never really
wanted to call and say, good to see a single father doing a great job, man. Doing great.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Much respect for it. Give that be a single father. That goes a long way in a lot of people's lives.
Thank you. It's not easy, but especially at first. But
what do they say about easy stuff?
Huh?
If it's easy, you probably ain't doing it right.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Looking at the chat. So you feel like things are just the same way I basically do. Things are pretty quiet right now. There's like no news. If I was to give news, I'd be stretching. My lead story was, why the Mona Lisa wasn't finished. And I don't even know why that's a story. I would think that they would have figured that out a long time ago.
Oh,
you didn't finish it because
I got you on the phone. I wanted to ask you if you're still going to do something about the electric universe.
Yes. But you know what? I was thinking of doing it when Anthony Patch is on, but then again, I'm gonna do something electric universe before that. But I was gonna do it maybe like a few days before Anthony comes on. once I solidify the date, I'm gonna do it a few days before he comes on. That way, it's kind of fresh in everyone's heads, and it's not too close to the show where if you don't catch it live, they'll still get a chance to watch it, and at the same time, it won't be too far away where it's kind of like in the back. It's not that interesting to people. It'll still be fresh in their head. So yes, I am, and as soon as I have a definite date with him, right now it seems like a couple weeks. So
Right on.
yeah. So when I get a definite date with him, I'll be able to tell you, basically almost an exact date I'd be doing it. Probably about 3 days before his show. 2-3 days before I do the show with him, which would be great. I can't wait to have him on.
Well, I don't got much for you, but
Thank you for calling.
Have,
Thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Papua New Guinea had an earthquake today. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I did, and also from watching Brian Knight, I saw that there was a. Now I asked them in the comments how rare they are, but like a 9.9, and if so it's basically, and I guess once it's 10, it's called a M something as far as solar flares go. It's like a, I don't know, for in lack of a better understanding, like a Richter scale for solar flares, I guess. And I guess an M is a bit, I think that they're more of a big deal. So I try to ask them, how often do those happen? Because it was a 9.9. I think a 10 constitutes an M or whatever. But oh, you didn't get a notice. Yeah, I went live earlier than usual, 10:45, West Virginia. But yeah, so people were asking if they thought that had anything to do with the earthquake in New Guinea. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there is that correlation there. Somebody's been working on that. I can't
So
remember.
there is a correlation with the solar flares and the. See, in my mind, I was like, "Huh, is there a correlation?" So there is, huh?
Well, I know there's weather correlation with sunspot and solar activity, but I'm not sure
on the
earth.
Sure
on the other effects.
Yeah, I know the moon has effects for sure, but a solar flare. I mean, solar flares are, that's a big deal, especially it affects a lot, but and a really bad one could be like Drop said the other day. He's more worried about a CME than an EMP. CME being what is it, coronary mass injection, something like that, injection. So yeah, but thank you for calling in.
Thanks for taking my call. Let the next person get on.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right, thank you. Have a good night. Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't get notifications. I'm telling you, I think those last two videos yesterday, that was real intel. So, I didn't see anything telling me otherwise. So, seemed legit to me, made sense. I just think certain communications are done encrypted. But anyone else, feel free. Planet X News. It had been that long. Yeah, it's been that long. Time flies when the dead air. What is it? Do people need the number? Massachusetts number. Interesting. I don't know if this is personal or. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Who's this? Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were someone I know. Yeah, because not that many people have this. Like, I have my own number for like my family and friends, but there's some people who have this number. I didn't. When I saw Massachusetts, I'm like, hold on, let me make sure this isn't a personal call first. All right, I'll put you speaker. Sorry about that. Hold on. And actually, let me just check who is beeping in. I can't see who is. Somebody was beeping in on the other line. I'll be able to see it in a minute. Whoever it was, you're up next. Um, so this is in Boston. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Joe.
Joe in Boston. All right, Joe. What do we got?
Hey, what's up, brother? I just wanted to ask you a little bit about what do you think about all the weather warfare that's going on with the geoengineering around the world, especially in like the center of our country with the flooding? I think it's all like related to Agenda 2030.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree or disagree, but how
So would you? So do you think it's like?
Don't take notice.
You think it's more like the like the cabal, the UN, all that type of stuff, or you said weather warfare, or
Yeah, well,
I mean warfare on us, the just regular people, right?
Right, exactly, all of us. Between the spraying with the chemtrails going on, and
Yeah, I think I think it's a huge problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chemtrails are legit, 100%, in my opinion.
Right.
I mean, they've been legit. I just think that what they're doing now, it's just, they got people so asleep right now.
Right.
That it's like right in your face, and they have the tech. I just think that they've come far enough along where people don't question anything, and it's just kind of like with the internet. Yes, there's going to be a faction of us that are awake, but I would say 90% of people who are awake are looking at the wrong stuff. So
Yeah,
like
they're not
even go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, they're not doing their own research. I mean, it's very easy to look up geoengineering, and I mean, Harvard came out and basically said they were going to start spraying this guys, which is
Yeah,
I mean,
Harvard said that they'll be basically they
right.
just started this spring, right?
Yeah, right. If
Okay.
We're in trouble.
I know.
What
Right?
do we see up there in Boston? We've seen about 6 hours of sun in the last 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, it's been ridiculous. Yeah. But that's April too, so it's like, but you know what? That goes for every month before that too. This winter, it was like it was like no sun this winter. I mean, April's always suck. As far as like sun, not getting
April
sun.
showers, but we just have gray.
Yeah, I know. It did have like sometimes I look outside and I'm like, what time is it? And then it's 2 o'clock. I'm like, what?
It's so hard to try to wake people up, but if it gets, maybe if you don't come right out, you can't hit them with everything at once. But as far as the spraying and stuff, there's companies that do it that you can look up very easy. One of them I think is Aqueous, and this guy David Miles, he runs a company that will sell you rain basically. You can tap into
and he actually did he test it and all that.
Yeah, he brought rain to Africa. It's all documented. He's spraying somewhere down.
I heard about
South
that.
America now.
I heard about
that. Fact,
I heard about that. Yeah, and they've been able to affect the weather forever. I mean, what a coincidence that you ask anyone that was in Vietnam. My father was in Vietnam. It rained nonstop. Even you watch Forrest Gump, it's referenced. I mean, it rained like every day for like a month, 40 days. I mean, it is kind of like a jungle atmosphere, of course, but that's still not normal for it to rain non-stop, day, night, non-stop.
Yeah.
Just that's just not a sustainable. That it was unbelievable. It was like, things that never happened all of a sudden happened during the war. One of the coldest winters ever were during World War II. Now that might just be a coincidence. I don't know, but I know that as of Vietnam, they were messing with the weather. They flooded the enemy out.
Definitely. Oh, definitely. I agree.
Yeah, they collapsed the holes on them and everything. So they used the weather, but they were so dug in, and they were going through Cambodia, which made it a big problem, and that's the only reason that they weren't successful. That, and in my opinion, not anytime, because World War II worked, but when you have a draft, I don't know. I don't think you exactly have a motivated military unit.
Right, I get it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't be. If I had if I had wanted nothing to do with the military and I got drafted, I wouldn't be happy about it. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be. I wouldn't. Do some John Wayne shit out there. No.
Oh yeah,
and
it's a scary thing. So I mean, imagine these young kids going and then they're scared.
Oh yeah,
They don't want to do that. It's not exactly who I want to fight next to me.
Exactly, and that's the problem. Is when people have that type of mentality, like I don't want to die. That's first of all when you die, believe it or not. And that's what gets the people around you dead more than anything. So it's kind of funny. It's like the guys who just like got balls and they just like I don't know, they'll just run out like in World War II. That first guy who runs out, they don't hit the first guy. It's the trail guys that get hit. The first guy never gets hit. Yeah, it's almost kind of like they're almost kind of like caught off guard. Like what? Like
yeah.
But
kind of gets to jump on them a little.
I'm pretty good at guessing where somebody's from by their accent, as far as Boston accents go.
Yeah.
I want to say like, I could be wrong, but like South Shore, Weymouth.
No, actually, right in the city, Dorchester.
All right, well, that's kind of south a little bit. That's south.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
When I say South Shore, I think more towards like starting around. After Braintree.
I hear you. I was gonna the next word I was gonna be Braintree actually. Like that. Weymouth, Braintree, Dorchester.
Right.
Whereas I'm from like Charlestown, Cambridge, Somerville. You know what I mean?
Right. I just recently moved over to East Boston. First time on this side.
Oh, where in East Boston?
Right near like Orient Heights.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Bennington Street. Yeah, it's not bad.
I used to stay in Winthrop, right on the line.
Yeah, Winthrop's nice.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It was just flooded with drugs, though. That's the only thing.
Well, everywhere is.
Well, yeah, but especially it was just like I don't know. When I was there, this is like 6 years ago. It was like flooded. But yeah, you're right. Everywhere around Massachusetts is, but it seemed a little bit more. I mean, the worst I've seen is Worcester, but that's a whole different story. But
Lawrence and.
Actually, Lawrence is the worst. Actually, Lawrence is the worst. Yeah.
And that's coming from a guy from Dorchester.
Yeah.
So Lawrence must be pretty bad,
Yeah, it is. It is.
But I don't know. Between man manipulating the weather nowadays and the 5G that's about to come upon us, for me, that's like the two biggest problems I see right now. That maybe we can try to do something about.
Yeah, and there are things that, like you said, just awareness alone, because if they're officially just starting, maybe officially people might start, gathering, especially the 5G. that's really, I mean, of course, our atmosphere is wicked important, and them dumping all this, barium, strontium, all that crap into the air,
aluminum.
the aluminum, yeah, it's horrible. Richie from Boston, he mentions it like once every 2 weeks,
Oh yeah,
and it's not for lack of material. It's because he's passionate about it. That's what
right.
that's what he built his bones off of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was 10 years ago. He started the station just on
Yeah,
that alone.
yeah, just because he lives right on the right,
right across from Logan.
Yeah, yeah, nah, yeah. So you know what I mean?
You ever hear of Mike Morales? It's called Above Ground World News. It's on live every night, and
no,
it's really cool. He shows your weather forecast, but not like the regular fake weather you see on TV. He can actually show you chemtrails. He can pick out shipping lanes where they're dumping bunker fuel out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's wicked cool. I mean, if you have a computer, you can pretty much do it all yourself, and you can learn just by watching what this guy shows you every night.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's let the audience see it. I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, Mike Morales. I don't know if he should be coming on right about now. I mean, but
Mike Morales. He sounds like a local kid.
Yeah, I know Mike Morales.
I know like 3 Mike Morales. Literally,
yeah,
it's like a
common name.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from. This guy's from like Kansas or something like that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
He's right in the middle of everything going on.
Yeah, I think that's a Portuguese name.
But he's really good. I like watching that. And the 16-day forecast is pretty much right on, unless they manipulate something, and he'll show you what happened between the
Mike
lanes and
Mike Morales,
microwaves, the electronic frequencies they use. He's right on it, man.
That's interesting. Let's see. I'm gonna put him in right now.
That should come right up on YouTube.
Is the name of is it Mike Morales? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually went for watching.
Yeah, Above Ground News. Yeah, Richie from Boston. Richie from Boston's actually come out and met me.
How is he? Is he cool? Regular wise?
He's wicked cool. Oh, so you knew I was on his channel before?
No, I didn't. I just recently I heard about you from his channel too.
Oh, really?
I subscribed.
I wasn't making videos then. I went by the Red Pill, but I wasn't making videos.
Yeah. You just started coming back, and maybe he mentioned you coming back, and that's how I caught on to it. It seemed about a month ago.
Oh, did he mention me a month ago?
That's how I learned of you. Yeah.
I didn't know that he mentioned that. Oh, that's cool.
So,
yeah, because for a while I had as my my top video. My first video was from meeting him, and I just kind of was like, I just kind of let people know like he's legit. Like he rolled up like he's a legit prepper. I seen his truck, everything he has in the back of it, and all that. He gave me 5 ounces of silver. You know what I mean? Like, in my head, like I see someone giving out that much silver, it's like. They kind of pre-do it. No, it was a random thing. He picked the red pill. There happened to be 2 red pills, though. That's the problem.
Really?
Yeah, there was another person with the name Red Pill as well. So, it ended up kind of being a problem. So, I was like, I called him. I'm like, and I guess he was like, it was meant to be for the other red pill. Like, according to... So, I was like, hey, if you want, I'll give it back. And he was like, no, it's all right, keep it, because I guess the other guy didn't claim his prize, whoever won the other 5. So he was able...
Was that the silver coin, or was that the ring that the guy...
No, that was for 5 ounces silver.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I still got it. I could actually grab it and show everyone, yeah. I still got it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I didn't hockey yet.
Right.
No, I still got it.
Some other guy, I forget his name, something Marine, but he takes one of those coins and he'll turn it into an awesome ring. That's what he gave away not too long ago, a couple of those rings. And they were really nice.
Oh, wow. See, I missed that one. Yeah, I always watch Richie. I mean, Richie, he used to work with Anthony Patch.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's a small world. And then Anthony Patch ended up meeting a woman, and she lived in Boston, and that's how I met Anthony Patch. This is all before I ever did YouTube. I just literally happened to win something on Richie's show. Happened to meet up with Anthony Patch because I followed him and I really liked I just think he's brilliant. And met him for coffee and everything. And
that's cool.
Yeah, we met in Arlington. That's where he was staying at the time. Now he's up in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
But it's just
awesome.
weird.
Yeah.
It's a small community, really. I mean, it's just once they come to Boston, I seem to meet them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's good, bro.
Yeah.
You'll probably meet many more now. The more you come up. So.
Yeah. I hope so.
You pretty much kind of, I really feel that Richie is for real and cares about what he's doing. Same with yourself.
I try to just be authentic, be myself, and not just put it out to put it out. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It shows, brother. We can tell.
And that's what I'm saying. I could when I watch things, I can tell who's what and who's not. People aren't. We all kind of in our own heads think we're smarter than everyone else. Sometimes, you know what I mean? We all kind of have to tend to think like that. And especially when there's so many people around. People also think they're invisible sometimes. No, these are very intelligent creatures around you that are very observant. And they know everything and they're thinking the same shit as you. And you know what I mean? I don't know. Some people just think they can get away with crap and, I don't know. I don't know. People are stupid. I don't know. People just aren't. Some people are stupid. Some people are just.
There's a lot of stupid people.
But there's usually something behind it. It's not so much that they're actually exactly stupid. It's more so sometimes they're just plain stupid. Other times it's
sometimes it's a one-up.
There's some kind of psychological thing though too, behind it that it always comes down to that sometimes, a psychological issue. Something happened in their past, so it's they make everyone compensates for something with something. My PTSD causes me to, kind of make up for it in other ways, and I don't know. You know what I mean? I isolate and and I find and I'll put myself in positions to isolate subconsciously without knowing it. Does that make sense?
No, I get it.
You know what I mean?
I've been through it too.
Like right now, if everyone in the audience was sitting in front of me, I'd be like, fuck this. If I could see all your faces,
right.
I wouldn't like that. I have my back against the wall, and I want you all in front of me looking the other way.
Yeah, sounds like me.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
Yeah. But so cool channel. So let's see. So 16-day forecast. He just put that out yesterday. Do you think he'd mind if I checked it out?
No, I'm sure he wouldn't mind at all. He's wicked cool, dude.
All right. So I'm gonna check it out. Thanks for calling in, Joe.
All right, brother.
And please, please, don't be a stranger to the show. I've seen you in chat.
You all right?
All right, brother. All right, man.
I'll pass it on too. All right, man. Keep up the good work.
All right, thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Brother. All right, man. God bless.
All right, you too, bro.
Peace.
That was nice to hear. Someone from this neck of the woods. I like hearing that. All right, here we go. West Virginia.
Yo, Lebo, what's going on?
Hello, how you doing? Red Pill here. Red Pill Dispensary. Is this who I think it is?
Yeah, it's Lebo Hound.
Hey, how you doing? All right,
I'm doing
good.
Just a couple of quick things. Actually, they've been messing with the weather since the Great Depression. Used to have snake oil salesmen running around with little bottle rockets doing cloud seeding.
Can I give you actually, you know what? You can decide how much you want to tell. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right.
But that's a good. See, I was thinking. You know what? Because it's really odd how in World War II how cold that one particular winter was. You know.
Yeah.
That was a really cold winter.
Yeah, it started with the Great Depression and the snake oil salesmen running around with little homemade bottle rockets shooting up into one little sparse cloud, taking the poor farmer's last dollar, promising them rain. And sometimes it did actually work, but most times it didn't. And then that cold winter of World War II, and then, of course, you mentioned Vietnam. Man, we flooded out the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Exactly.
But, big thing is called about, what do you think about everything about the pop-off in the Middle East and 4 carrier groups being dispatched and a B-52 squadron?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that was yesterday I heard about that, but I mean, like, today. But, yeah, I mean, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
One of the things I've been saying for a while is the day when you see the Strait of Hormuz, if I'm pronouncing that right, when that gets closed, that's when you know it's on. Yeah. Once they close that strait, whether it's us or them, it would most likely be them or maybe us, or it's kind of
does it, whether we do it or if Iran does it.
It's on. It's on at that moment.
Somebody's going to retaliate, and then
once you
3 or 4 pronged assault on Israel.
Yeah,
it's going to get nasty over there.
Yeah. So why do you think that they? I mean, because I would argue that our Navy is the most powerful force in the world.
I wouldn't argue. I would just flat claim it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's basically what I do all the time. And mind you, our Navy includes the Marines,
I mean, people just truly do not realize just how awesome our Navy truly is.
Yeah. And for to send over that much, that's saying something.
So you got
the fact that it's
Lincoln
been quiet.
The Middle East. And I don't know which ones are heading which, but you got one steaming down to Venezuela. One's going to be on the Colombian coast, and then you got another carrier group going toward Colombia. I mean, not Colombia, but Cuba.
Yeah.
And the B-52s leaving England.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, they dispatched the B-52s today.
Oh, really? I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, they left England and headed toward the Middle East. So when we start shuffling carrier task groups and
exactly.
B-52s,
yeah,
things are getting a little heated.
Yeah. So basically, like, and I think that there's like at the beginning of the show, that's what everyone was saying. It's like it's quiet, but that means something's coming,
Because this little so-called truce going on in Israel, that's just the law, and like you're saying, the Strait of Hormuz, or however you say it, or whatever.
Hormuz, I think.
When whether we or Iran blocks that's when everything's going to break loose.
Exactly. Once that oil stops flowing through there, that's when
I hear, it was 20 million barrels a day.
Yeah.
Passed through the strait.
Yeah. And it's such a narrow sea.
30 miles.
Yeah, it could be closed so easily. So easily they could close that, especially with Russia right there. I don't know why they want to do that.
Back in 1988, we busted them wide open when they put those mines, and one of our cruisers hit it.
Yeah.
I think within a matter of hours, we sank or destroyed half their Navy.
Yep.
So,
but now things are a little different. Things are aligned a little bit different.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure, but not positive. Maybe somebody out in the chat may know, but I think tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of us pulling out of the nuclear deal over there in Iran. So I think they're supposed to start kicking back up. I think they're supposed to start kicking back up their nuclear thing again tomorrow, making it the 1-year anniversary of us, reneging on that.
Huh, let's see.
This should have never been put in place, but thanks to our past commander-in-chief.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Just basically send them a bunch of, literally enough cash to fill.
Let's go. The most powerful country in the world. Let's go running around the world, bowing down and kowtowing to every, insane idiot apologizing. We don't have to apologize. We keep the world's peace. We don't have to apologize for it.
I agree. I'm totally with the president.
People do not realize what the state of this world would be in if we didn't have our nose stuck in everything. A lot of people don't like it, but it would be a much dangerous world.
Way more dangerous. Nukes would have been used already. Put it that way. I think that much. I really do. I think that nukes would have been used if there hadn't been a few situations where we kind of calmed things down. There's been other situations where we've riled things up, but to an end, I hope. But now hear me say, so pull out a nuclear treaty with Iran date, because that would be really interesting. That would make tomorrow. So U.S. expects to. Keeps talking about the arms treaty with Russia, even though I put Iran. There we go. Iran deal. Okay, here we go.
If it's not tomorrow, it's pretty soon.
Yeah, it's. I thought it was even over a year by now. But May 8th. May 8th. So 2 days. That might be a day. That might be a day to keep in mind, huh?
I know we were either right up on it or just past it.
So President Trump on Tuesday said he is pulling the United States out of the international nuclear deal with Iran, announcing that economic sanctions. Oh, so you know what? So if they're saying on Tuesday. No. It says President Trump said May 8th that the United States would reinstate sanctions on Iran and warned other states against helping Iran. But wait, let me see.
It's supposed to be the strictest restrictions and sanctions that we've ever put on them.
Which is obviously hurting them.
Oh yeah, look, we brought them to the negotiating table last time with the sanctions. We crippled them.
Yeah.
We financially crippled that country.
Instead of giving them billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, and then Obama just gives it all back to them.
Yeah.
Out of the taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Just further devaluing our hard-earned money.
Yeah. And it's so funny that the code name he chose, because the president, they kind of get a code name, renegade. Yeah. Look up the definition of renegade.
Oh, Lord.
You look up the definition. Yeah, exactly. The definition of a renegade is somebody, who basically kind of like, causes all kinds of problems within their own, like in your own house, You're a renegade.
He ran around the world, apologizing for being an American the way all these Republican politicians and Democrats run around apologizing for being white.
Yeah. And then you look at really, like we were talking about, would the world be a safer place, not as safe a place? I mean, look what happened under his watch. North Korea achieved nuclear capability, which is something that was like a huge thing during my time in from 03 to 07.
A more dangerous place under Obama, and ISIS is.
And ISIS.
He should own the ISIS ordeal.
Yeah. And I honestly, do you think that McCain died of natural causes? It's so weird. The photos of him sitting down with the who became the leader of the caliphate, along with his top generals in plain clothes. But this is like right before ISIS was formed.
I hate to say anything bad about a dead man, but
I know, but
I don't
know. I just think that
his death, and I've heard. I'm trying to get better sources on it, but I've heard some whispers of supposedly Bush Sr. was executed for treason.
Yeah, see, I've heard that too, and I heard the same of both of them. But you know where that comes from. That comes from the Q crowd, which at the same time, I'm not saying I don't believe, because there's some stuff. Like I said, there's a period where I think Q was legit. The only thing that I kind of pushed back on is I think it potentially could be artificial intelligence at that time when it was giving out legit information. And
my big problem with McCain is, me and you both veterans,
yeah,
God bless him. I hate he was a prisoner of war. I hate what they did to him. But when your entire life is revolved around POW, bow down to me, it's time to move on.
And the thing is, I mean, like in his officer's class, right? I think it was like out of like 600 and some, he was like second to last, if not last.
Yeah.
And out of everybody, as far as like their overall like score. You'll hear that all the time from what's that pilot? Oh, he's great. The Truth the Pilot. That you guys probably know in chat.
Well, it's because of his POW status. Anybody's afraid to come out and say anything. But I mean,
and it's because of who his father was too.
Yeah.
His father was a rear admiral, I believe. So
yes.
So I mean.
But his daddy still wasn't bad as Bush Senior. Bush Senior.
No, his dad was a patriot. That's the thing.
Yes.
He was a true patriot. He didn't his son was over there and once a year he had something personal he would do. He would kind of go and look to the sea and say a few words and that's it to himself. But he did not send over the whole, all these, put a bunch of people's lives in jeopardy to try to find his son and and kind of like over the mission. I'm not saying you shouldn't be looking for the POWs. They always are looking for the POWs, of course. But there was obvious reasons they couldn't get to them. People think like, oh, why couldn't they just go? Well, they did afterwards, but it was kind of hard. It wasn't that easy to get in there, and it was hard to even locate these places. They would move. They were like mobile camps. They would move them all the time. I mean, but the thing with him, he was like badly injured. So, he needed to be kind of nursed back to health. And they found out who he was pretty quick, and he didn't get treated as bad. A lot of those POWs didn't like him. You've heard him reading the thing, the propaganda and all that, and I mean, it's I don't want to I don't like talking bad about that. It doesn't like rub me the right way.
I understand the point. If you're another pilot or another POW and you've held out and you've not read the propaganda and you've not signed the paperwork, but as far as the average American goes,
and that officer is supposed to represent you. He's supposed to look out for all of you. Even in a POW camp, the command structure, the chain of command stays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's never been held against anybody. All you read propaganda against the United States. You signed that paper stating that, you were guilty of war crimes. The United States was guilty of war crimes.
Yeah.
That's never held against. But you're a prisoner of war. You're going to do what you got to do to survive.
Yeah, I hear you. But I can understand someone that was there, and a lot of them did hold it against them, is what I'm saying. And,
that's understandable.
That's understandable, totally. But, I don't, maybe he shouldn't have been a pilot in the first place. I mean, that he killed like 30-something sailors on his ship, doing some cowboy shit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, you never heard of that? Oh, no. Yeah, look it up. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm definitely
killed like 30-something. Yeah, I mean, he, like I said, he was, if not dead last, second to last, and we're talking hundreds and hundreds. Like I think it's like 500-600.
He was on Annapolis
in his graduate,
right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So, but like last place. You know what I mean? It's like he was only there because of his father, obviously. So I mean. I don't feel right talking about a dead man because you know what It might have just been, but then again, if he had any kind of hand in forming ISIS, wittingly, uh, then that's why I kind of almost am a little bit kind of like different with him than I would be, obviously, with any other veteran. I would never, but with him, it's a little bit different.
The last couple years, it was obvious. If he did have brain tumors, there ought to be stuff enacted. Once you have a brain tumor, if you're in any kind of power, a chief justice, a senator, a congressman, president, attorney general, you're in some kind of, high seat of power and you've got brain tumors, that stuff does affect your mood and decision making.
Yeah.
And you should immediately be made to step down.
I agree.
He was not a mental
and he wasn't, and he was the key.
So
he was the key vote on Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was, he
disaster.
Came back from one of his operations to make that vote. I think, well, not operation, but something. He had. I know that they weren't sure if he was going to make it or not.
Thanks to Obamacare, I'm back to the VA because until Obamacare was enacted, I could afford insurance. I can't afford personal health insurance anymore.
And Obamacare was actually kind of like it was kind of based on what we had here in Massachusetts, what we used to have here in Massachusetts, which was actually a good thing. It was actually great health care for everybody, and it actually worked, and it was good. But that's only because Massachusetts can afford it. You got these great hospitals, these great colleges, and with it being Massachusetts on top of it, that part sucks.
In Massachusetts.
Yeah, so it was able to work, but then they try to make it work for the whole country, and it just doesn't work like that. It needs to be state by state. It has to fit the state. When you have people in Mississippi, paying the same as people in California, it just makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. The percentage of their income that they're paying is vastly, it's like crazy compared to somebody that can afford to live in San Francisco or something like that.
When I first started my health insurance, it was like $130 a month, and it was awesome. Yeah. Awesome health insurance. And when I finally canceled it, I was paying $450 a month, and they were getting ready to jack it up to $700. And
how could anybody live?
That was me at 34 years old. Just myself. Nobody else.
I'm 34 right now. I could not afford that.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I could never afford that. I would just go without.
And me and the mom, hers shot up to over 1,000.
Wow. And then I have pre-existing, so I'd really be screwed, huh?
Yeah.
See, we still have Mass Health, but the thing is, our Mass Health is all screwed up because of the Obamacare effects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obamacare, screwed it up.
Yeah.
And so now it's like you get this shitty healthcare. It changes every 3 months. No one knows who their healthcare provider is.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Well, thank God, we were talking here last night, the VA system has improved. It's still got a long way to go, but it has improved.
It has.
But I don't understand why they just can't give us a medical card.
I know.
It'd be cheaper, and instead of having all this bureaucracy, all these facilities, just give us a medical card.
Yeah.
It'd be cheaper.
It would.
But I do understand, the Vietnam era and the World War II guys that are still around, they enjoy that community.
They really do. Yeah.
Yeah. And I understand that, but, unfortunately, and it's a shame, it is, that, we don't have many of our World War II guys left.
Yeah, it is.
And, unfortunately, it's getting to
and because there was a draft. And the reason it's so difficult is, we're talking 9 million veterans, right? Even though less than 1% of the population is served, we got 9 million veterans, right? And a lot of them, even though they're older, Vietnam, that that time, they're veterans just the same as you and I, but there was a draft at that time. So
Exactly.
there's a huge. It's like if you were if you were coming out of high school around that time, like my father was, you went in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just how it went.
They wouldn't have had to draft me.
But my father
When I
went
graduated high school, I was
he
17.
volunteered. He volunteered, and that's how he got to go in the Air Force. And he ended up getting better duty.
Yeah.
He still ended up in the Philippines and eventually Vietnam, but with the Air Force rather than the Army, or So it almost turned out better for him that he volunteered. He also had some college, so he was the Air Force ended up being good to him.
People don't realize how much, even if it's just a little bit of college, how much that little bit of college, because, I only had a semester. When I graduated high school, I was 17. Mom and Dad went and signed the papers for me to go in.
That's what happened. Yeah, that's same with me.
I went to a semester of college and got home at Christmas with all my stuff and enlisted. Because, I always, I was 5 years old, Christmas time, Toys for Tots.
Oh, I thought you meant you had to get a waiver. They signed a waiver to go in the military. Oh, I was 17 and they signed a waiver for the military, and I signed up.
Mom and Dad wouldn't. I had to turn 18 and do it on my own.
Yeah, well, you know what? 9/11 happened my senior year, so it was like, you remember how it was then.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was so patriotic at that. Yeah, and then all of a sudden everyone started appreciating veterans, and everyone had American flags in their front porch, right?
And it was about a 2-year period. You couldn't find an American flag. If you did, it was $100.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it was just like, oh my God, it was nice because it was like whenever I went to an airport, I had my uniform. It was like I was a celebrity. People just.
Oh yeah.
So it was nice to see the country pull together. It was just unfortunate what it ended up turning out to be with Iraq. Iraq really had nothing to do with it, but.
No. So here in West Virginia, West Virginia has the highest number of military per capita. A lot of West Virginians enlist,
I believe that.
A lot of them go to the Marine Corps, like I did. So
I heard South Carolina is big too. South Carolina, West Virginia, Georgia.
You can't swing a dead cat in West Virginia without smacking a Marine Corps veteran.
Yeah.
But when I travel outside the state and somebody finds out, oh my God, you were a Marine, it's just like, it's the most amazing thing that they've actually met a Marine and that, that I survived that and went through it. And,
yeah.
But, you don't get that here because, there's so many of us Marine veterans here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually true. And up here, up north, not so, believe it or not, though, Boston has always been, a lot of veterans out of Boston, I noticed, even when I was in. But the other New England states.
I was in, a couple of guys from Boston, and my best friend while I was in, he was from Watertown.
Watertown, really?
Yeah.
That's really close to where I'm at right now.
But one of those things we're talking about, just certain things you don't remember. That's the big thing I can't remember is the names of the guys I was with.
Yeah. See, I remember some. Yeah, actually, you know what? Now that you mention that, except for the main few. Yeah, because we were talking last night, and I asked him. I said because he also had a clearance, and so, you were exposed to some classified stuff, right? And and so I asked him, we had talked after the show last night, and I asked him because it's something that's been bothering me. I said, "Do you have trouble? You remember everything before, you remember everything after." You remember certain things even during, but you have trouble remembering your time actually performing your duty.
Yeah, man, it's wild. I really hadn't really thought into it until you said that.
Yeah, and I have these huge lapses in memory, and it's like, I know that usually when people get out, they get one shot. I got two. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe because I was in Hawaii. Maybe there's some other shot. I don't know. You know what I mean? When I got out, I was in Hawaii. Maybe there's a second shot. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with having to have a clearance, and I don't know. I don't have the answer. I don't. All I know is that it could be trauma. I have no idea what it is, but I can't remember, like huge, like it's like 2 years went by, and it's just like a fog. 2 years of my time in the military are a fog.
Yeah.
And those are the most crucial 2 years when I was doing the most crucial work, you know. And I remember little things, but you know, it's like the trauma I actually remember. I remember that like clearly, but it's like everything else I don't. It's weird. And you experienced that as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So hearing you say that kind of made me think. You know, it's just.
Well, yes, I wanted to run those couple of things by you there, but I'll
Yeah,
jump
great
off here
call.
so somebody else can call in.
Great call. Thank you for calling in.
All right.
I appreciate it. All right, brother. Thank you for calling, and we're gonna keep an eye. Keep me posted on that. What you told me about the. Oh, he's not there. Okay, I was gonna say keep me posted on the some of the movements as far as the because I didn't know about the bombers out of England. I heard about the carriers, but I didn't hear about the bombers. All right, so lines are open. I think when I got his call, was someone else calling in, or am I thinking of the last one? Let me see. Because if not, I'll just call you, like I do. You know what? When I talked to Joe in Boston, that's when he was calling in the first. It was like they called at the same time, and I answered Joe, and then he was beeping in. So that's what that was. So the phone line's open. So we're getting rolling here. At the beginning, I was like, are there going to be any phone calls? But then I started seeing that people weren't getting notifications. But they know what time I go live. They know by 11:15 I'm already live. You know, for sure by then. Usually by 11. But I always try for 10:45, and today it just happened to work. So let's see. Let me make sure that I am still live. I haven't looked at. Well, really look at chat. Okay. Let me see. What do I have that on? So you guys can see my screen. Okay. Yeah, Brian, I watched your last video. I actually mentioned it. So I don't know if you want to explain the difference. Like I know you said it was a 9.9, and if it was a 10 on the solar flare, then it would be a M class or M. And I don't know if you had answered. I asked you how often do they have those, like at that level, the M class, which I'm assuming because you said it was 9.9. You said it was just shy, so I'm assuming anything like a 10 and up would be M class or M. All right, thanks, guys. In the meantime, we can even check out that video that was brought up by Joe. Let's see. While I wait for a phone call. I mean, I can't play.
If you ever buy camera gear
As long as this guy's cool with me playing it, I can kind of play.
Automatically applies coupon codes to your
And I have to
card.
pause too much, but just in case, I'm gonna pause it a little bit. But so let's see the way he does it. It's like a 16-day forecast, the way it was explained from what I understood. And let's see. I'm just gonna watch. It's cool. He does a good job. 3 dislikes. I mean, my videos, then it would never have that many likes, but you know, as far as like likes to dislikes, that's what we're used to. It's like before, you know what? Literally, it's like hate, dislike, I hate. Bothering someone, they don't talk to
Alright guys, welcome back into Above Ground World News. We are live. Welcome in. Here we are. We made it to Sunday somehow. The 16-day forecast. Hang on here.
Subs.
Alright, sorry about that. I had to cough again. I think I'm getting better, but I don't know. We got all this stuff coming in. So many crazy things, man. We've had some crazy weather.
So guys,
today.
if you guys like what you see,
The Navy Warfare Development Command tested a new anti-ship missile defense system June 21st through 20.
That's not what I wanted. Anyway, we've had hail reports in Aurora, Nebraska, 2.75-inch hailstones. Claflin, Kansas, 2.50-inch hailstones. Same thing for Stockham, Nebraska. 1 3/4 inch for Lubbock, Texas, and Fort Stockton, Texas. Also, we had 105-mile-an-hour wind gusts
September,
in
like
Pleasantville, Nebraska. Lincoln, Nebraska, 87 mile an hour. Denton, Nebraska, 70 miles an hour. Haulover, Florida, 67 miles an hour. Same with Titus, Florida, 65 miles an hour. And the tornado reports today, we've had them in Howe, Kansas, Malcolm, Nebraska.
This was yesterday.
Tahoka, Texas, Misler, Kansas, and Raymond, Kansas. So it's been eventful today. Anyway, we're going to get into this, and I'm telling you, man, when we go back and we looked at all the aerosols being deployed and all the bunker fuel, this is what happens. Anyway, let me let's take a look here at the current watches and warnings. Let's let this go ahead and go through, and we'll see them pop up as they come. Here I can turn the radar next rads off just so we can see all the severe thunderstorms, all the tornado warnings going off. So as of right now, let's get this to
guys, don't let this stop.
Minutes. So right now we have
please feel free
2 tornado warnings in,
and that's not our chat.
Kansas. Looks like around the Wichita area or somewhere down in there, and then also in Texas. So,
can you guys hear?
Mega strong storms. Looks like we had a few up in Nebraska just a little while ago. And at the same time, we got severe weather down in Florida, too. No tornadoes as of yet. Let's go ahead and put the next RAS back on here. We got a lot of things to look at on that here in a little while, but today's the 16-day forecast. Let's go ahead and take a quick play of this. And what we can see is all them aerosols. They usually spray out a day or two before the storm. Now, we had mass spraying operations over here yesterday. This is today. They had a new spraying operation. Let me slow this down.
Holy shit.
And what you'll notice, right down here, this whole section,
what a great
all
idea.
these aerosols soon as they get to the certain point right here, that's exactly where every one of these powerful thunderstorms popped off. You notice these are all the aerosols, these are all the aerosols. And then yesterday, they just completely, filled the sky up. What's really crazy is these storms right here, they're not spraying out in front of them. So they must have wanted these things to be really powerful. They didn't want to block the sun. They wanted the ground to heat up so that they could really induce some strong storms. I've seen this before. I see it all the time. And the other thing, there's still a giant ship track operation out here in the Pacific. In fact, it's even looking worse. All these long straight lines in the yellows and orange.
That makes no sense.
These are a military-based ship
It makes sense.
track. This is for weather control. Also a big spraying operation over Idaho, right there over Southern California, down in San Diego. We could go back to yesterday, and they were all pretty far up north. I mean, they've been spraying out here for days. We had the crazy anomaly back here on the 3rd, but here's where they are right now. Straight across from San Jose, California, all the way up to the border of Oregon and Kansas. It's never a good...
I hope you guys are on board. I find this fascinating. I hope you guys do too. Keep going, right? I'm gonna keep it at least going for a little bit more of that.
Good thing when we see these guys out here, and
I had to pause anyway.
Let me play this little quick thing here, just so you know, they make clouds with ships, the military does. Check this out.
The Navy Warfare Development Command tested a new anti-ship missile defense system June 21st through 25th. Pandora Fog consists of shipboard radar-absorbing carbon fiber clouds tested under a variety of at-sea conditions using assets from the U.S. Army, Navy, and Air Force. These man-made clouds are part of a layered defense and are capable of preventing a missile from detecting and striking its target.
Yeah, right. What kind of missile are they talking about? There is no missiles going to be launched out here. This is a weather control program, just like we show nightly. We show the companies that do it.
I don't know.
But like I said, tonight's the 16-day forecast. Let's go ahead and jump into that. I didn't even pull up no headlines. If we get time, we'll go over a few headlines later. But
I know that much.
all right, we're going to start out tonight with the GFS model. And we're going to go on up 16 days. We're going to go 6 hours at a time. And you need to mark down the crucial dates in your area because this is the weather plan. It doesn't change. So here we go. 12 hours from now, Monday, May 6th, more powerful storms are going to be fired up right there in Texas, all the way up into Oklahoma, up into Kansas. We're going to take this up just 6 hours at a time. You know, the regular rain, we're not going to worry about too much, but once we start seeing the super heavy rains, this is Tuesday, May 7th, for the border of Kansas and Missouri. And look at this, it's going to fire right on back. All them aerosols we're seeing today, that's for this storm right here. So this is going to be a pretty good swath right through central Missouri, southern Kansas, southeastern Kansas, and the same spot in Texas as today. Take this up another 6 hours, heavy rain. Floods are going to be going on everywhere. We get into Wednesday, right there on the little panhandle there of Oklahoma, Texas, and parts of Kansas on Wednesday, May 8th. And it's going to really fire up. You know, the air should be stabilized by now, but it won't be because they'll be cooking the sky. Anyway, Kansas heads up for May 8th because it's going to really fire up right there. And as we track it forward, it's just going to go almost straight east to northeast. And it looks like it's going to split off into a couple sections. And don't think this stuff up here in Nebraska isn't going to be strong. It's definitely...
I just want to say one thing. Now, we've heard this date, May 8th, a couple times already, and exactly around that area where you see some of this heavy stuff, that's where some of the most top secret facilities are located. I mean, obviously, in some of the most least populated areas we have, that's where you're going to have, you know, the places where, you know, some of, and they would be the hardest to get to, you know, as far as, let's say there was a war and they want to take out our most vital, you know, ways to wage war. I mean, obviously, you know, where the ships are, that's one thing, but as far as everything else, you know, you're gonna find that in this area, and we keep hearing that date, May 8th. So just keep that in mind.
Going to be strong. You can see by the tighter bars, this is going to be a wind event. Could see more 105 mile an hour wind gusts with this. Then look out for Arkansas here on May 9th, Thursday. Iowa, Ohio, Wisconsin. So we got a bunch of batches of strong storms in Arkansas. Totally inundated with flood and severe storms. Same up here in Michigan. You're in the crosshairs on Thursday, May 9th.
If there's anything like vital, just let that area know.
And we're still in the May 9th here. We're going to go on up to the 10th. So you can see this thing just tracking. Here we are on the 10th. So all these areas, you know, it's going to be severe. The nighttime's not going to cool these storms down. They're going to stay strong. They're going to stay intense. So for May 10th, we're looking at Mississippi and Alabama, north part and parts of Kentucky and Tennessee there. Not really Kentucky, but Tennessee for sure. Just flooding rains for everybody else. So it's going to track right on over into Georgia on Friday, May 10th. And it never stops. Up in Boston, you're going to be getting hit here on May 10th. Down here in Texas, the new system starts up. Okay. And it's going to track even farther south. We're looking right there at Texas and Louisiana. And look, here's the high pressure system. You know what that means. There are going to be aerosols being deployed everywhere. And it's going to track right on over to Mississippi. And hopefully that one will weaken down. We'll see. Oh, in the meantime, we got more flooding rains up in the north.
There's a fake
here we are on the Saturday, May 11th. Look at that right there at the Gulf Coast area. Severe storms, heavy rains, super heavy downpours. Wow. I mean, it's in the super dark greens along with the yellow. So it's going to be raining for quite a few hours, about 12 to 18 hours down there. Another system hitting Minnesota, Wisconsin. And that's going to track on over. Look, here's a little, don't let these little dots fool you right here. Colorado.
Yeah, guys, I highly recommend
Mexico here on May 12th. Them things could be a lot worse than what they look like on here. More flooding rain for Louisiana on the 12th.
Coming from Joe.
Way up there in the north. Heavy rain. There's still going to be snow up here.
And
here on the 12th.
At least watching.
Let's track this on out. Here's May 13th. And look at this on 13th. This is going to be another severe weather outbreak for Texas. This thing could pop off before Texas and get into New Mexico. We'll just have to see. We're also going to check the Canadian models once we get all the way through this. More severe storms for the middle part of Texas on the Monday, the May 13th. And look, it's just going to keep on staying around. Now, here's the wicked day. This is Tuesday, May 14th. Louisiana, Texas. I mean, this is off the charts almost rain amounts. So, mega flooding for the southern states. Actually, you could cut the United States right in half. To the right side, all rain. Flooding rains. You think we got a lot of flood warnings now? We got a lot more coming. And look at this. We almost have a blizzard event right up here on the 14th, Tuesday. if you're up in Toronto, Canada, up in here, parts of, is that up there of Maine? I can't hardly tell there, but man, look at the pressure, 998. You got snow in there, high winds, and still flooding the south out. Let's go on up. Here's Wednesday, May 15th. Bermuda, you're going to be getting a bunch of rain for days. So they're going to.
All right, so I don't want to step on any toes or anything, but at least we got like a week out forecast. I hope everyone was looking at your areas. I hope everyone subscribes. Not just because we played it, but mostly because this seems like a great source of information. I mean, this is the great thing about the truth community. Just what a simple idea that you would think someone would just think of, and someone obviously did. But I never thought that it would exist, a truther weather channel like this where you can actually get the real weather, and it's not all this BS, and he actually says it how it is, and kind of lets you know why they're intensifying, and mixes in the chemtrails and all that. I think it's brilliant. I think it's fascinating. I think it was really cool that Richie in Boston that was the real Richie in Boston. Because I know there's a fake Richie in Boston that goes around sometimes with a T in the name. Like RITCH. But no, that was really Richie in Boston, and I don't know if I think it seemed like some of you guys were surprised that I was on Richie from Boston. Yeah, I'll just play it. This is before I ever did, or even thought of ever doing videos. Oh, wait. A lot of hate videos on him.
You and your team need to get things done. With Monday.com, it's easy, fun, and simple. Just add the work.
Quit. I didn't read Boston.
I know. I do. You grew up. You know the deal. Okay, you guys might remember this giveaway I did for the silver and then the survival kit. I did this about a week ago. There were 3 winners. One was the red pill. One was Pete Oropeza, who I haven't heard from yet, and one was Dave Champagne. Now, there was a slight issue with this because 2 people responded. One was the actual winner, and one was one trying to pretend he was the winner. So that really pissed me off, but it is what it is. Well, the guy that won is this fella right here, and it turns out he lives about 50 miles away from me. After he finally confirmed that he was indeed the red pill, I had a conversation with him, and he used to be a Navy cryptic guy. So what he did was he took information from, Al-Qaeda, all these other things. Before you shake your head, listen to what he's got to say. Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. I am in Framingham, Massachusetts. It's like 50 miles from my house. And it turns out that I'm with the red pill. This is the guy that won the 5-ounce silver coin. And it wasn't just him. Somebody else claimed they were him. So there was, of course, I try to do something nice, and someone tries to be a weasel. Yep. And me and him almost got in an argument till he basically proved who he was. And then I figured it out. Dude, you're in Framingham. I can come right to you. So I did.
He went out of his way.
Well, in any way, yeah, I guess.
Did, though. You messaged me.
I waited until after rush hour. You know what I mean?
But still,
But the good thing is when I met him, it turns out that he's got credentials. He used to be in the Navy, and he was a cryptologist, which is something very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to say a little bit about that?
Well, there are a lot of different types of cryptologists. There's cryptologists who do linguistics, like language. There's cryptologists who are more into the techie part of it. I was a collection CT. It's a CTR.
Gathered any intel?
The accent. CTR. And anyone in the Navy knows what that is. So, top secret SCI clearance. And with a polygraph. Which brings it up a step.
That's no joke.
So, well, the reason is because they don't know. What I do is, what I did, this is from 2001 to 2004, what I would do is, you go out, and we have certain equipment. I'm not going to give any intel.
Right, that's cool, man.
But we listen to enemies, and we listen to what they're doing. And you never know what's going to come across.
Right.
That's why I need that clearance.
Right. No, it makes sense, man.
But I just want to say one thing. After the Patriot Act passed, my job description changed.
What do you mean?
Literally like 2 days after, I was listening to a Marine cry about his girl sending him a Dear John letter. Listening to our own people.
So after the Patriot Act that was already written up well before 9/11, but trotted out on 9/11, your job changed. You went from foreign governments and enemies to domestic.
To both.
In your own soldiers.
To both. But then it gradually even got worse towards the domestic.
And that's how you ended up watching me? Like you ended up in the truth community, you ended up trying to figure out.
That's why I got out of the Navy, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing. Because too many guys just keep holding on even though they know it's wrong.
No. And I've been awake for a long time, but it's really been these last few years that, I used to watch you with Anthony Patch and, I just want to let people know, though, Richie, he's legit. There's a lot of fucking haters out there. Excuse my language.
It is what it is. Absolutely.
I don't know if I can. So, there's a lot of haters out there that try to say he's this, he's chill. But listen, he drove out here. He emailed me. He texted me. He came out here. He even gave my dog, because I have emotional support dog.
A beautiful
I have PTSD. I got a nice pit bull. She's an emotional support dog. He even gave her a patch for her emotional support dog vest.
Is the PTSD from your time in the military, or is it unrelated?
It's some military, and I've been through a lot of shit on the streets in Boston. So
I know.
You grew up. You know the deal. And we're from roughly the same area. I'm from the Medford, Malden area. It's a
great place to. I've had my nose.
Great place for the OCs, and that's where it started. That's where it started. For all you guys having problems with drugs, you can get off it. I've been clean 5 years.
I got almost 10 years in another. This month, it's April. My uncle texts me and says happy birthday, which is kind of weird, but I got strung out like a research monkey.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't want to get into his personal, but that's when I was on his show. So it was just kind of funny. I haven't watched that. I literally since I have been doing this. I mean, that was kind of funny to watch, but that was when I met Richie, and he really is legit. I mean. He came up, he did everything, brought it right to me. I couldn't believe it. We hung out and talked for a long time. And then he ended up saying, "You want to just do a video?" I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm down." So, that was a really cool. Actually, I'll go grab I still have the silver. I'll go grab it. 1 second. it out here? Shit, I can't find it right now. But you know what? I'll find it before tomorrow night, obviously, and I'll show you guys tomorrow night. But yeah, it's like this big. It's all in one, 5 ounces. Whereas I think the other guy got like 5 individual ounces. But yeah, he was really cool in person. He's, you could tell he's like, there's always videos of him like driving cross country. He goes and meets his subscribers. I can't speak high enough about the man. I think a lot of him. I can't, he probably ended up figuring out by now. At the time, I gave him like a fake name, a fake everything. I was like wicked skeptical at first. Give him fake name, fake everything. A lot of fake information about myself, but you have to take those precautions because you just don't know until you meet them. But once I met him, and you could kind of tell, especially someone from Boston, you kind of know like what was what and when it was and how it was growing up, and I could just kind of like he went through some of the same struggles I went through. Like dude, like OxyContin was huge up here, and when I got out of the Navy, that's kind of how I dealt with some of my issues. I'm gonna include it all in a testimony. I don't want to just say that. I'd rather just say it all. And by the way, that's something that I plan on doing maybe tomorrow. It's like I'm just kind of like put it out there, put out everything. You know what I mean? And the good, the bad, the ugly, the sad, the happy, the everything. And that way you guys can get to know who you're talking to a little bit better, maybe understand some things a little bit better. Like when maybe I get pissed off a little bit too easy. Maybe I'm not like trusting of people a little bit much. Like when I met him, he knows now. I ended up actually messaging him once I started doing this, and I had a video at first, like my feature video was with him, and I messaged him. I said, "Hey, I want you to know, because now I don't hide anything. Because since then I've been on the radio. I wasn't on the radio then. That was only last year, but I've been on the radio since this past summer, and so now it's like a lot of people in Boston know who I am." As a phone call, someone who calls in, as well as on the show. And they know my name, where I live. So, I don't really hide it anymore. So, but I used to have like an alias I would go by. So, a couple things I would, I don't even think he doesn't mention a name in the video, but I was just like scared of like, I'm like, this guy gets so many subscribers. What if he's this? And I'm telling him this stuff, and nothing I told him is really classified. If I got into more particulars about the Marine story, that would be classified. It's more so like methods of collection, things like that are classified, and like particulars. That was a pretty vague description, so nothing classified. And that's what I even said, I think, in the video. Like, I'm not going to give out any classified intel, but I never have, I never will. I feel like I always have to say that because, it's just me and my daughter. Something ever happened to me, I have a godmother that, she's like a mother to me. And that's like all I got. And I have 2 brothers, but we're not that close. So obviously the mother, her family, they I don't know. But did anyone call while I was in the other room? So yeah, I'll find the coin. If you guys saw my bedroom right now, it's such a mess. I mean, like my house is like 24/7 a mess. I've even had comments, clean up your house, but with a 2-year-old, it doesn't matter what I do. I try to clean every night, and then it's like literally by noon the next day, it's just like a tornado hit it. Like, between her eating, her playing with every toy possible, and then just, just taking clothes out of it. She just, I don't know. I just, like, I can't be strict with her. But maybe I should be more strict. I don't know. If anyone has any tips on how to control a 2-year-old, I'd always be open to that. But the phone's open if anybody wants to call in. Let me check chat. Thank you for leaving the docs. Well, he put in there that I quit. I mean, I just didn't re-enlist. I got out. Little difference there. And I didn't even give him, like, my correct years. In 2001, I was still in high school. I was wary of him. It's just but then once I got to talk to him, and you start to realize he was legit. He's a good guy too. Chat. Did I pull down the chat? Oh, I think this one. Oh my God! Really? Yeah, I know. It's like, really. I mean, it's just like, it's a mess, But it's. Oh yeah. Kenley, I saw that. The Presidential Medal of Freedom was given to Tiger Woods. I don't know. I honestly, I was really happy for him. As somebody who understands. He was all. What was that? 3 years ago, he was literally on Xanax, Vicodin, I think some sleeping med, all that crap, like stumbling to a cop, and he was a mess. He was done. He had such bad back problems, and I have back problems myself, and you don't know how debilitating a back problem is until you start to have them. Like, I was a mover for many years of my life as well. That was after the Navy, and I did my back end between that and maybe some stuff in the military. Although, in the military it was mostly intel, but you're forced to do the PT and all that. Just I don't know, and you're young and you're stupid, and we used to do crazy, stupid shit, and we would fight. Put gloves on, fight, and I don't think that's how I hurt my back, but maybe not too good for my head. We would do crazy stuff. The guys waiting for the clearances, yeah, we would do crazy stuff. So let me see. I haven't looked at chat in a while. Oh, someone mentioned me in particular. Mike found where he believes Paradise Fire started by Do. Mike Morales. That would be interesting. No, the Do theory is, well, it's one of two things. It's either Do, or it's from the ground up. It's from the ground, and it shot up. It's almost like lightning from the ground. Because if you look at those logs, we're talking, California has some of those legit trees. What are they called? I know that they have they have are they redwoods? What are they called? They have those, but then they were very valuable. I know this wood for one, but they would be literally, once they cut them, you could see the burn going right through the middle, but the bark wouldn't be burnt, but in the middle would be burnt. So that's either some kind of direct energy weapon from the sky, or some type of similar type of, it's almost like lightning from below. That's it. That's really weird when literally, they had all the. I seen more photos. You know what did a good job at covering that was oh man, A Plain Truth, and it's Plain Plane, and basically that's all he did was cover it. I mean, he went there, and took video and got a bunch of pictures himself, and some of the pictures he brought back. That's what made me think it was due, or if not due, some type of technology where it comes from underneath. Because we got these old trees, huge, and it came right up from the bottom or from the top. All I know is that it went right through the tree, yet not the bark was unburned. You explain to me how that happens, and I'm all ears, but that's very interesting. Yeah, without the trees burning. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they were burnt. But a lot of them were burnt in the middle. Weirdly enough. Yeah, that's what I was hoping, that my story would help others, because there's a lot in it. It's unbelievable. It's almost like some of it's so crazy. I was like, when they hear some of this stuff, like the only thing I basically could show proof of everything. The only thing, one thing in particular, I would have to request medical records or something like that. But it's crazy. Did whose channel get removed? Yeah, Joe beat me to it. Yeah, you know his name, Jamie. I didn't even know his name, but yeah, from Plain Truth. Yeah, he has. He actually went there, and he got like pictures and everything. Oh, he got taken down? See, Brian knows what I'm saying. It was almost as if either one or the other. Either it came from above, because I'm looking at trees that have been cut. I don't know top from bottom at this point, right? So either it came from above, like a direct energy, or it came from below, from under the earth, and burnt up into the tree. Yet the bark is unburned. But the middle of these trees are black all the way through. I mean, how does that happen? It's unbelievable. Is that, am I caught up in chat? Was that the last? Oh, okay. So, yeah, so Brian Knight knows what I'm saying. Yeah. It's very interesting. California is under attack. You mean that in a, you don't mean like breaking. I think he just means California as a whole is under attack between the migrants bringing over the measles, which is exactly what a lot of us heard. Oh, Plain Truth. Oh, that's easy enough. Oh, I was wondering. Yeah, I don't get notifications from him anymore. Because actually, I don't, on this channel, I only subscribe to a few people. On my other channel, well, not my other channel. My other channel is just a sports betting channel, But, because basically I just use Twitter, my regular Twitter, to document my bets. And I'm kind of tired of doing that on my regular Twitter. It makes me look like a degenerate gambler when I'm really just kind of like, I'm only really making, like certain bets. I put a star next to the ones that I'm actually betting, which are only a few. Like tonight, the Celtics, no heart. And I hope Kyrie swerving lets the door hit him in the ass on the way out. But at least the Bruins are on to the Eastern Conference Finals. And you know what? Maybe the Celtics need to get their ass kicked, 3 times in a row for them to... And I actually... Felger and Maz, who Felger was actually my mentor, for those of you who are local, they were all talking about how the Celtics, after game 1, the series is over. And Felger's from Milwaukee. And I called in, I said, listen, don't sleep on Greek the Freak. I know it's Greek Freak, but I always say Greek the Freak. And I said, listen, I'm telling you, you cannot depend on Kyrie Irving. You can't. This guy, I know you guys don't care about this stuff, but, you can't depend on him. But I was hoping for a first-case scenario where Boston wins all 4 major sports in the same year. So far, the Red Sox won the World Series. Patriots won the Super Bowl. The Bruins are in the Eastern Finals. And the Celtics should be in the Eastern Finals. I mean, we're up against the number 1 seed, but we should be the better team. But magma sounds more logical. Well, wouldn't magma burn more than just like it looks like it's almost like a circle of black going right up the middle of the tree. Alert. I should do that every time when something comes up out of nowhere. Why, is there really like... I read California's under attack as him just saying like they're under attack as in like... Which they are, Yeah, I really do think the Bruins are going to grab it too, because it's never been like this where all the top seeds are knocked out on both sides, East and West. You know what I mean? So it's like all of a sudden the Bruins are already, a higher seed and had a chance. But now the way it is, it's been this weird playoffs. I mean, the playoffs in the hockey are always great. And an 8 seed could be the 1 seed at any given round. Whereas in basketball, that never will happen. An 8 seed will never beat a 1 seed. A 4 seed will never beat a 1 seed at that. Except if it ever would have happened, I thought it would be now with the Celtics because, they're built like a 1 seed but played like a 4 seed. But you guys don't want to hear sports. If you guys want to hear sports, check out my other channel. I haven't even put a video up on it yet, but I keep saying I'm going to do my first video, but it's called, I already got it all set up. I already got the emails. I already got the Twitter. I already got it all. It's Wise Guy. Actually, I said it wrong before. I said Wise Guy Sports and Betting. Anyways, it's Wise Guy Bets and Sport News. So that's it. Not Wise Guys, like plural. Wise Guy Bets and Sport News. And Sports News. But once I actually start putting up videos. Yeah, exactly. We're essentially the number 1 seed. We have the home ice. I think, isn't there one team in the West, if we play them, they would get home ice? Or is it the other way around, Joe? Or is it, does it also pertain to the whole West? Measles is a false flag to promote shots. See, I believe that too, to a point though, because for those of you guys who remember, like a month ago on my Fugel show, a doctor called in and warned ahead of time about this. But then again, maybe, this doctor was part of the, because think about it. If they really are trying to promote the flu shot, they need to get rid of the anti-vaxxers first, right? How do you take care of the anti-vaxxers? Well, you go after the truthers. So you start spreading it even a month in advance on the Truther channels. And maybe when all of a sudden it comes out, they take it a little more serious. I don't know. Oh, wow. Huh? Can we? That's interesting. And then there's actually a guy in the Bucks that grew up right next to where I grew up. Well, not right next to. Like, I grew up, like, at first we lived, well, I was born in Cambridge, but I never actually lived there. I was born there. Then I had lived, like, Somerville and Charlestown. It was kind of where I grew up my younger years. And in my older years, I lived on the Medford-Malden line. But anyway, so closer to Medford and Somerville and Cambridge is right on the other side is this rich town, Arlington, because Cambridge is a rich town, obviously, and that's where I was born, and but it's right smack in the middle of a bunch of towny towns, and Arlington is where this kid Pat Collins, which is like anyone from Boston knows someone named Pat Collins, but Pat Collins, this kid plays for the Bucks, and he could have played in the Major League Baseball, but instead he chose the NBA. I mean, I would too. I mean, Major League Baseball, 162 games a year. Like, if you have kids, you don't see them for weeks at a time, and if you do, it's like, let's say you have a homestand. Even then, you barely see them. But anyways, I'm not going to talk sports on this channel. So, I mean, I will here and there, as you guys know, but, I'm very disappointed with them. I actually didn't take the Bruins tonight. I was thinking that, Columbus might take tonight, and then the Bruins will win the next one. That's what I was thinking. Or, I was thinking the Bruins could easily just as much win, but I felt like the Celtics for sure, there's no way they were going to lose at home and go down 3-1. I just didn't think that was possible. And the way that they played as if it was like a friggin' preseason game. Like their effort, just disgusting. But the phone line's open, guys. Because if not, I'd end the stream early because, like I said, last night I literally didn't sleep. And, once she's up until I put her down it ended up being 10 o'clock tonight. So that was nice, a little earlier. That's what she does. She wakes up at like 6:30, and she won't go to bed until 10, and that's without any naps. And she's active all day. She's like a boom of energy. Just, like I talk to other parents of 2-year-olds, and they're like, "Oh yeah, but then he'll take a nap." I'm like, "A nap? What? Takes a nap?" And I'm like, what am I supposed to? What else can I do? I'm like nonstop with her all day. So I don't know. I guess she just has a lot of energy. We got a large crowd. Nobody wants to. Charlestown was the angel dust cap. I don't know anything about that. I never heard of that, but I believe it. I mean, my brother, like even after, my father moved out of there. My brother still lived in the Townie projects. That's, by the way, if you guys ever saw the movie The Town, that was based on Charlestown. That's what I'm talking about. That's what Joe's talking about too. So yeah, it's open, guys. Yeah, I agree, Kenley. So, all right, guys. So, it ended up being a good show, and it'll be nice and short and sweet and consumable for those who didn't catch it live. But if anyone wants to call in, I want to still leave it out there. I'm willing to go until 1:30. You know, so if you want to call, this is like last call at the bar. And there's no bad call, by the way. I feel like some people sometimes it's like intimidating to call. Even my first time calling my food, I was nervous, because like I feel like with my accent, people automatically, and that's exactly what happened. I was like, yeah, I was like, I was in the Navy, and I had a top secret clearance, and I was a cryptologist, and the whole chat. Yeah, okay, yeah. This guy, he sounds like a fucking idiot. All this, literally the whole chat thought I was lying. But that's why before I called in again, I sent in my D214 as well as some other paperwork pertaining to the clearance, and that way when I called in again, he vouched for me and said, "Nope, this guy's legit." I know it is Colin. I mean, literally running on no sleep. But I'm willing to take one more phone call. That's what I'm saying. Last call at the bar. Yeah, it's like when I was talking to Richie in the video. Because of course, for some reason, see, like a linguist, right? It's an I, but that makes sense, like interpreter. I don't know. It made sense to me. A techie, a CTT, all these things, right? It makes sense. For some reason, collection is an R. That's why I knew it when I said it on the Viz video. I'm like, they're all gonna think I said I. So let me emphasize the R. So literally, anytime anyone asks me what my rate was, like another Navy guy, we say rate instead of MOS, by the way. And so I'd have to be like CTR, and they're like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" I'm like, "Because if I said it the way I talk, you wouldn't understand me. So you would think they always, if I did say it CTR, they'd be like, "Oh, what language you speak?" I'm like, "No, R." So it's always been of course, that would be my rate, The only one where like that letter is very important. You're a CT, and then that letter determines like one job is totally different than the next. Like if someone says he's a cryptologist, that's great, but like the highest level clearance, it really is collection. It just makes sense because what if I intercepted him? What if I intercepted like the same message that they supposedly intercepted about 9/11? You know what I mean? Let's say I intercepted something about 9/11. You know what I mean? Like that's some pretty top secret crap right there. You got to be careful. You can't just give. You got to make sure that they are cleared, and I think my father and grandfather's military background helped as well. Yeah. All right. So if no one's gonna call in, I'm gonna call it. Now we're all having fun, making fun of me. I'm gonna go cry myself. No, I'm just kidding. I used to give it right back though. Oh man, I talk to I'm used to it now, but like this is like me fresh out of Boston. Like, the only place I ever really we went to Florida before, but like we would drive there, so yeah, we'd stop in some of the states, and it would blow my mind the way people would talk. It's like literally like someone in New Hampshire, I consider them a redneck. You know what I mean? Like that. Then I would be like, or even like people who lived in, like, the suburbs, like, if there were a lot of trees, I'm like, what are they, rednecks, man? Like, that's how I used to think. Like, oh, my God. You just realize how little you knew back then. And so when I went in the Navy and I met, people, like, from down south, or even from, I don't know, like, upstate New York, they all sounded like, what I would imagine, like, someone in the South would sound like. So, but then all of a sudden I realized pretty quick, I'm like, wow, listen to you. I can barely understand you. We're speaking the same language. And then it's like, all of them turn around, they're like, what? You're saying that? They're like, you're the one that, you know what I mean? And I started to realize, I'm like, wait, really? It's like that bad? It sticks out that much? You don't know until, like, you start meeting other people. Yeah, wicked pistol Joe. But yeah, you don't know until you start meeting people outside. And I had that luxury young, Like I said, my parents signed the waiver at 17. But then it took so long with the clearance, took a while to actually go in, that, like I did recruiting for a while, which is why I went in as an E3. But I still hadn't even gone through boot camp yet. Yeah, Kim, your southern accent isn't too thick at all. Or your son's. And I actually like the southern accent now. You know what accent? I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't like California, like, in a lot of different ways. I was going to say California accent, but there really isn't, like, a California accent. I'm more, like, thinking of, like, the surfer type. I think the Hawaiian accent's cool. I like that one. Oh, you know what, though? Like, North Dakota, or is that, like, Minnesota? The one where they're, like, like Fargo, you know what I mean? Like, although for some reason the what's her name? The one who ran with McCain, the woman. Oh my God, that's how tired I am. I can't. Palin. She almost sounded like one of them. And like, in the water. I can't even do it, but you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Oh yeah, no, Kelly, you forget them. It's there's nothing better than a Southern Belle. We're all unique. Yes, kind of like that. Like a, I don't know. Anyone ever see Fargo? Fargo. You guys ever saw like that accent? Like Minnesota. Like I can't even do it. But it's also like North Dakota a little bit, kind of, I guess. And Cali, I didn't know that Cali has a few. I didn't even know that Cali had accents. I just figured like so many people in Cali are from other places, like, that I didn't think there was like an organic Cali accent. Maybe, I bet you there is one in Northern California. That makes more sense. But like anywhere, like, San Francisco down, you know what I mean? LA, San Diego, all that. To me, that's like, a lot of the people, first generation, second generation. You know what I mean? Well, I happen to love West Virginia people, so But I guess that's like a reputation thing. They say that about anywhere in the South, stuff like that kind of nonsense. But I find West Virginia people to be quite educated. From what I've had 3 West Virginia callers, all 3 extremely educated. And the other coal miner, I forget who was. He was Pennsylvania. So no, I was gonna say 4, but no, he was Pennsylvania. Oh, you know what? Bringing up Kentucky, yeah. I met someone and he was my bunkmate. I didn't meet him, but I met him, but it was in boot camp. I had no choice. He was my bunkmate, and this boy was country. I mean, like, if they didn't make him wear sneakers, he wasn't. Like, he was just like, and he was from the like Kentucky, West Virginia. I don't know Ohio as well, but mostly he was from Kentucky though, but around there. But he was real country. He was like more than country though. It's more than just country. He was like, I don't know. I think you guys know what I mean. All right, guys. So if there isn't any caller, I know redneck used to be a compliment. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how that works. But all right, guys. Oh, that makes sense. I'm working hard outside all the time. So yeah, no caller. All right, guys. All right, so I'm gonna say, unless Daisy, if you want to call, and if you're just getting here, I was just basically able to wrap it up, but I'm willing to go a little bit longer if there's no more callers. We were just kind of BS and just talking, chatting. All right, sounds like everyone's ready for bed. All right, guys, have a great night. For what I understand, when I stop the stream, it's still, actually, here we go. We got a call. Hi, it's the Red Pill Dispensary.
Hey.
Hi, how you doing?
West Virginia Prepared Mind.
Hi, how are you?
You get mother and son tonight. I didn't have anything to talk about, so we started talking about accents. Listen, it is true that Mingo, McDowell County part of West Virginia that borders Kentucky, they do marry relatives.
Oh, they do. So it is. See, the thing is, you're literally one of the smartest people that I have calling to this. You're the smartest person, I would say, that calls into my show.
I don't know about that.
Well, from my perspective, at least, that's how yeah. And
West Virginia's like 4 different states. The northern panhandle has the Ohio accent and lives like Ohio. The Morgantown area is Pennsylvania. We don't even claim them. The eastern panhandle is Maryland.
Yeah.
And then the middle part of the state, they're just.
Yeah.
Then you've got Southerners with a Southern accent.
Yeah.
But that western corner of West Virginia that borders Kentucky.
Yeah, see.
Oh, my God.
The one I was talking about, he was from Kentucky. He was on the other side of the border, but bordering West Virginia. And
they're the ones that give us the bad reputation. That's Hatfield McCoy country.
Yeah. Did you watch that show that was supposed to be based in West Virginia? And it was like these people who like lived like in the woods or whatever. The Outsiders, or not the Outsiders, something like that. They and basically the way they made their money was they would make I'm so tired I can't even
Moonshine?
think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You ever see that show?
No, I didn't see the show, but
Oh,
let me tell you,
it was a very
southern
interesting
West
show.
Virginia and that southwestern part's big moonshine country. And do you know the Hatfields and McCoys still, now they don't get out in the street and shoot and fight. That family feud still exists.
Really?
To this day, yes. They have carried that crap for generations.
That's
Watch
unbelievable.
the movie that Kevin Costner was in. That's a pretty good prediction.
No, I mean, I'm very familiar with the feud. I mean, I anything that's on the History Channel, I know everything about it. You know, and I've watched all that stuff. And yeah.
You know,
wow.
For years I've done addictions therapy, and those counties are like 2 and 3 counties southern from us, and Medicaid pays for the transportation and brings them because we're the closest. Beckley, Raleigh County is the closest area for any kind of substance abuse treatment.
Yeah,
and they're like from a whole different world. You talk about preppers and off grid. They don't even know they're prepping and off grid. That is just their way of life.
That's just lifestyle.
Some of
those
them
will be,
have
and you know what?
houses.
That I've heard that's the place to. I forget. You know what? It might have. She was in chat earlier, and I mentioned that I had talked to her at the end of my Fugal show sometime. If it's the same one, and there was someone in her, and they were talking about how if something happened, they were going to the caves in West Virginia.
Well, where are the caves in West Virginia? I told Derek just the other day, man, I wish we knew where a cave was that nobody knew. We could make us a good bomb shelter.
Well, yeah, supposedly they were hip about some caves in West Virginia.
Well,
yeah,
I don't know where they are.
Have them look. Oh, okay.
But we've been looking for someplace off grid, actually in one of those counties, because let me tell you, they take care of their own. They're already off grid. These people, the state doesn't take care of the roads. They have natural springs and wells, and they can, and they're just natural preppers. That's just the way they were raised for generations, and they still live that way. And they have their own inloaders and backhoes, do all their own pipe work and clearing the roads if it snows, and they are self-sufficient. And we've actually been looking for an off-grid place, but if you piss any of them off, they'll kill you and throw you in a mine shaft. Oh. That's the other side of it.
But
they're so funny. They don't say like shut the door. They don't say shut the door. They say shit the door.
Wow. Whoa. That's,
they have.
I'm assuming that you said you work in addiction. It's meth, I would assume.
Huh?
Meth is probably like the main thing you get from
no. Heroin, yes, it's cheap. It was Oxycontin.
So yeah, I know that they used to call it Oxycontin's hillbilly heroin, but we used to laugh about that because like Oxy's like one of the places like it really got big, at least like where it wasn't at least that I knew of. It wasn't talked about anywhere else. And it was like literally like in Boston, around like Boston, right? Yeah. And then like 2 years later, it started popping up, and I started hearing about it in West Virginia, of all places. Yeah. And that's when it started getting the nickname hillbilly heroin,
Yep.
And then I'm not gonna say we, but let's just pretend or whatever. You drive down to Florida, they had all those pain clinics back in the day, and you get them like $2 a pop. Drive out to Boston and sell them $80 a pop, literally.
Well, my dad was 42 when he was killed in mine, so he was a very young man.
Oh yeah, and they said they weren't addictive at first too. That's the sick part about that thing. Like, we were young kids. We didn't know what we were getting into.
Well, he always said he hoped they never completed I-64. He said because that will make West Virginia the midpoint between the North and the South. And our crime rate will go up, the drugs will go up, everything will go up. And he was right.
Wow.
And we are the midpoint. They bring it from Florida, they bring it from the north, and then it's distributed from West Virginia.
That's actually, if there's a lot of problems in Chicago, But Chicago is another one of those hubs like that.
That brings it from Detroit.
Oh, really?
It's so bad that we have a special Tennessee task force that our state troopers sign up and join. And we have task forces all over the state of West Virginia doing the drug bust. But the county beside us is Wyoming County, and there's one of their biggest towns. It's not a city by any means. It's just a little hole-in-the-ground town, is Oceana. And before they shut all the pain clinics down, they called it Oxyana.
Wow.
But we've got so many people dying now from not using clean needles, and they get those infections like the skin-eating, flesh-eating disease.
Oh, yeah, I heard of that.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oof.
I mean, it's hugely bad.
Wow.
But anyway, I got tickled about the accent thing, and I was
West
Virginia's like 4 different states. I mean, you get past the mid part of the state, and everybody sounds like they're from Pennsylvania, and they make fun of us. Because one of my big things is I'm always saying, "Lord, have mercy" when something happens.
Yeah.
And I had a friend that when he would greet me, it was never "Hello, Kim, how you doing?" It was always, "Lord, have mercy." He'd drag it out. He was from Morgantown, right on the, where WVU is, where the border of Pennsylvania is. And they make fun of us. They think we're redneck country, but
yeah, it's
we've
just
got that area, and it is true. That area, they do marry relatives.
So it's like that area gives the whole state that rep. Because it never made sense to me either. I'm like, you know what? Virginia is like, it's totally like gentrified. You know what I mean? Well, not all the way, but major cities, and that whole area. It's been, it's different. And West Virginia must be the same way. But I could see heading towards Kentucky that way, part of West Virginia. That makes sense.
Well, I had a friend to move to Louisville, and she said, "You have got to see this community."
Kentucky's actually nice, right?
In Louisville it is, and right around the metro areas.
But then once
But then once you get out, she said, "I want to take you and just drive you, into this community." She said because she was from West Virginia, and she said that, the reputation that West Virginia has is really real in Kentucky. So she drove me to this community, and it was true. They all had shotguns sitting at their front doors.
Wow.
There was cars and washing machines and outhouses and everything out in the front yard. Nobody mowed. They all wore bibbed overalls. It was like the real typical West Virginia reputation, but it was in Kentucky.
Yeah, see, that's where I bet you that's that guy's town I was talking about. Because I was like, "Where are you from?" He was like, "Kentucky." I was like, "Which part?" Like, yeah. And he described it as right near the border of West Virginia. So,
well, that's down there in McDowell, and they don't say McDowell. It's spelled McDowell. They say McDowell. I'm from McDowell County.
Wow.
They're a hoot, man.
It's amazing.
People, you gotta love them.
I mean, you even heard me ask Joe. Like, I could tell he was more like, I said South Shore, but same idea. Like, to me at least, like Dorchester is more so like Southie, and then there's Dorchester, and you know what I mean, like south of Georgia. So and then whereas I'm like the northern part of, you know what I mean, like more like Somerville, Charlestown,
the organization
Medford,
JCs?
Malden, huh?
Have you ever heard of the JCs, a nonprofit?
No.
Organization raises money for people, does education stuff, like leadership education and those kinds of things. Well, it used to be a huge organization across the United States, and my son's father, he ended up being a national vice president. We'd go to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the yearly conference, and I met a guy, the first person I ever met from Boston, and we were on the elevator one day. It was a really nice motel, and there was like 15 of us on the elevator, and he was making fun of my accent. And he started telling me, and I said, well, you don't even have an R in your alphabet. Why are you making fun of me? And so he was telling me, well, you know, how do you park your car? And I said, what do you mean how I park my car? I park my car. And he said, no, in a parking lot. And I said, I just parked it. What are you talking about? He said, we park our car side by each. And I said, side by each? So he was trying to track me on the Boston accent. So I love the Boston accent. I get a big kick out of it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do.
But do you say, I've met a couple of people now from Boston. I haven't heard anybody else say park your car side by each.
You know what?
Do you say that?
No, never. No. Parallel park.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I don't know where.
Is that what he meant?
About.
Like a parallel park?
He was talking about like just in the mall where you just park your car beside each other.
Yeah, I never heard. No.
He said park your car.
I don't know what part of Boston he's from. Will they say that? Side by each. I never heard of that. I never heard of that.
Side by each.
Yeah, side by each. I don't know. We say things like, you know, for your living room, your parlor. You know, like there's a lot of stuff I never knew the rest of the country didn't say. I'm trying to think of a few. You know, your cellar instead of your basement.
We say cellar.
Oh, you do? Okay. All right.
And living room, and what was the other one you
parlor.
said? Yeah, your power bill instead of your electric bill.
Yeah, no, parlor.
Huh?
Parlor.
Parlor. Oh.
Parlor.
No, only the very southern two-story columned houses had a. Now, my grandmother, I have to take that back. My grandmother had a parlor, and that was where the piano was, and a couch, and a couple of chairs.
See, we say that, but trust me, we don't have nice stuff. At least in the neighborhood I lived in, we didn't have nothing nice. You know what I mean?
They were kind of uppity.
We were like lace curtains.
Families that had money during the Depression when nobody had money. So she had a parlor, and that's where they'd go listen and play the piano and stuff. But the rest of us say living room. We say cellar, and you know.
Yeah, there's a few. It's like a list, a bunch of lists online. But I'm trying to think, because they're like normal to me, so I had to like really think like which ones.
But we cut words off. You know, like we'll say jeet. Most people don't know what jeet is. Did you
what's
eat?
That? Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never heard that one.
And those McDowell and Mingo counties, they'll say poke instead of bag. We say pop instead of soda.
Oh, yeah, that I got a kick out of that at first, too. Hearing pop.
And then they'll say light bulb instead of light bulb.
What did you say before pop?
Washington instead of Washington.
What did you say before pop?
Huh?
You said, because I was like, wait, what? You said before pop. What did you say?
Poke instead of a bag.
A poke?
Yeah, do you have a paper poke?
Never heard that. I've never heard that before. We should do a show just on like, like yeah. That's actually true. Tonic, not soda. That's true. We say Joe. That's true. Actually, I started saying soda as an adult, but as a kid, that's all the I would say. Tonic. You ever hear that?
We have tonic, but it's not soda.
Yeah. Yeah. So Joe, you're right, Joe. As a kid I always said tonic. But then I don't know, I think after the Navy I stopped saying it or something. But yeah, tonic.
No, we always say either you want something to drink or you want a pop.
Yeah, so it's pop, there's soda, but I say soda now, but when I was a kid I said tonic. Yeah.
Now, I've got an uncle that lives in New Jersey and then an aunt and uncle from Pennsylvania. So when, they come in, I always say, would you like a soda? That kind of thing. But my aunt that was born and raised in Pennsylvania, of course we have a lot of creeks here, and she always said crack instead of creek, and then would make fun of us because we would say holler instead of hollow. They live up so-and-so holler,
Yeah.
It's like you don't say Sophia, it's Sophie.
Yeah.
Sophie, West Virginia, not Sophia, West Virginia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we end a lot of things. We drop the G.
Yeah,
you know, everything is y'all and it's nothing. And
yeah, you know, I learned that too. One thing I learned real quick was you know, I'm fixing to this and old lady.
We're fixing to go to the store. Do you need anything?
Or was it mama or old lady? Nah, what is it?
Now, that's the rednecks that call their girlfriends old ladies. And I always tell those guys, you will treat your woman with respect and you will not call her your old lady in front of me.
Well, but there's something else too with mama. What is it? Man, I remember when I heard it, it blew my mind. But everything's fixing to this, fixing to that. But and then as well as, what is it about mama? Man. I forget.
About somebody's mom?
No, but it's like an expression. I can't even think of it. I don't know. Something. I don't know. I can't think of it.
I don't know. Just the joke, you're so ugly, we should smack your mama.
Yeah, say it. Yeah. The doctor should have smacked your mother.
Oh my God. Okay, well that's all I wanted.
Yeah, and then no.
There's your entertainment for the night.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Love
Virginia.
You guys. God bless.
All right.
Okay.
God bless. Have a great night.
You too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
I think this is an interesting topic, I do. But I think we could do a whole show on this. Even if it's Pepe. Now, what is this Davenport for couch? I never heard of that. Icebox, or for me, it's refrigerator. Most of the country doesn't have candlepin bowling. Wow. I mean, I grew up like it was everywhere. There's not as many of them. They still have a bunch of them in Malden, but yeah. I mean, it's just like that's like a thing. I guess. Wow, I didn't know that was just a Boston thing. Now I'm thinking of that. I've never seen it anywhere else. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go to sleep. I'll let you get some rest. Be rested tomorrow. I don't know. I might do the testimony. I might not tomorrow. If not, the next day. But it just depends. Depends on the news day. We'll see what we got. Yeah, the fridge. Yeah. Yeah, I don't actually say refrigerator. Yeah, I just say fridge. Yeah. That's what I would say too. But technically, it is Tuesday. Yeah, unless you're on the West Coast or the mountains. Oh, I didn't know that. Makes sense, because I mean, I've been all over between the military, the moving company, and just some personal travels. Yeah, I haven't seen it anywhere but, let alone the Northeast, anywhere but really right around Boston. But yeah, interesting stuff. All right, guys. So that was a fun topic to end the night on. When I stop the stream, just so you guys know, you guys want to hang out and chat, you know, no, I was never fighting for custody. I have full custody. It was never a fight in the first place. It was never. It's just because of what went down with her, you know, DCF gets involved. But I never had a problem with custody at all. No. They just want to. All DCF cares about is that I have her, and that's it. You know, they just want to make sure that, you know, you know, I don't have her, like, see the baby alone. But, yeah, that's it. That's all they care about. No. Yeah, no, it was never a fight over custody. It's just a matter of, like, but I don't, you know, I still don't like that. I don't like any kind of, like, telling me what to do. But they tell me, you know, she can't be alone with the baby. You know, she kind of gave up those rights. But yeah, the crazy thing is in Massachusetts, like, you know, had she not, you know, acted crazy and been an idiot, like, you know, she could have went and filed for custody and taken the kid right from me, like, just like that. And in Massachusetts, it automatically goes to the mother, unless there's reason otherwise. Like, there would have to be something really serious, which there was. So, you know, and not so much that she did anything wrong. It's just that she had a mental problem breakdown. But that's it. But yeah, I'll do the yeah. Oh, well, thank you. If you were looking out in that way. But no. Custody's never been. That's why, like, people, like, were worried about that video. I'm not worried. If I was worried about custody or in trouble or at all, or, like, had, you know, anything looking at me, I'd be a little more careful, obviously. But no, I'm, you know, full custody, and that's the way they want it. In a place like Massachusetts, the state gets it the way they want it, you know? But, all right, guys, have a good night. Anyone wants to hang and chat a few minutes, it'll still, for what I understand, it'll still, like, stay on for, like, 10 minutes or something. Khaleesi could tell you better. But, all right, so I just wanted to say to each and